movies that they are activists.
Kevin fits in. Good for him. I'm excited for him. He's so nervous.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
He just like keeps looking back at us.
He's just like, I don't know what you guys saying. However, Marion and Oscar may have to leave at 6.
Yeah, me too, actually.
So I'm gonna pick up with it. But yeah, my mom started crying on the phone. I called her at work and she was at the front desk. And I'm like, stop, Mom.
I had a cold freshman, so I ended up doing that southern accent in class.
Why did you say late? Did you work?
Kind of, and then I was trying to diffuse the situation.
Oh.
What do you think this drawer is full of?
No.
Hmm.
Thank you.
That's true.
No, not really, but whatever. I feel like.
Oh, I have gossip.
What?
I think Mason's working there too.
Schwinn?
Yeah.
So you guys
So
gonna
the
be
connection
roommates, or-
continues.
Guys, I don't know if I can. Oh, and Liska just interviewed there today.
So
In Madison? Oh! Do you know what's more gossip is that,
Andrew Neal did not get this.
No,
No,
not
I didn't know
that's
that.
interesting too.
but, Liska told, like, the pause, like, some of the pause managers, and he was like,
Oh my gosh.
Kevin's dying.
yeah.
He's the most introverted person I can think of.
I feel like I should post on their Facebook post.
Oh,
Like, heard the announcement and come now.
Do it.
Good for him. This is a good exercise. And
Okay, but what was the situation for you? No, like literally no.
go, Kevin. Good job.
Proud of him.
No, so like,
Awesome.
Liska told like one of the kitchen managers, like, there's like a family emergency that I'm like going to attend to, and then told other people that he was like going to Madison, like starts really early, but apparently it's,
Here's a friend interview.
yeah.
Well,
But he's-
someone
he's
tell
a-
people in case he doesn't get it.
Is he with Neil?
To be like,
No, Neil didn't get past the computer round.
Yeah, but I think he's with him in Madison right now, because that's where he's, I don't know. Someone told me that they were heading to Madison together, and never mind.
His interview was yesterday.
Oh, no.
A lot of people listen.
No, his interview was yesterday.
Could you hear us?
Yes.
Right. I'm encouraged. Then we yell at strangers again.
Kevin.
Okay, it's been a while.
So should we wait a couple more minutes to see if people come and do the
Your show.
Just start, let's just start. Alright, so for the people in the room, do you guys wanna just go around and, can you talk about kind of who you are and how you got started with the Occupy movement, and then what you're doing with the movement, now, and other movements that you're involved in? So, let's kind of start here.
Okay, hey, I'm Stephanie B. I'm a queer hip hop feminist, and I came to Occupy. I live downtown Minneapolis, and I guess I got involved with Socialist Alternative at my college at the U of M years ago. And yeah, I think online we got invited to a meeting at
Stevens Square Park.
Park, yeah, about maybe taking the Occupy Wall Street model and bringing it to Minnesota. So, yeah, that's how I got involved. I guess now I'm not affiliated officially. I'm in a lot of different, I guess, projects, but right now I just work with a lot of hip hop activism and keeping youth from becoming incarcerated, and organizations like Twin Cities Save the Kids, and I don't know more a little bit. And, yeah, Minnesota 350. There's so many organizations. I won't. You go.
Hi, I'm OSHA. I started off being more of an animal rights activist, and once things started happening over in the Arab Spring or in Egypt, and they started occupying, if you will, only with a larger scale model and things like that, I started paying attention to revolution and revolutionary movements, and eventually Wisconsin started occupying their capital, and somebody at Adbusters thought it was a good idea to try and occupy Wall Street. So I saw that they did that, and once I saw that they had plans to do that, I, along with a group of other organizers, essentially swapped up the social media and domain accounts for Occupy Min, and we called out for the meeting in Stevens Square Park, which you might hear about again, which is where we planned Occupy Min, and I've been involved with it since then. Although it's kind of dwindled, I still maintain an online presence with it and am the webmaster of occupymin.org. So now I'm involved with a whole bunch of different projects, to name a couple: March Against Monsanto, March Against Corruption, People Over Politics. I've done some Black Lives Matter activism. I've done some things with Idle No More as well. And yeah, that's about me.
Thanks, OSHA. My name's Gillette West. I may have lost my voice here briefly. I was a vitamin D activist before the Occupy movement. If you've heard that you need vitamin D, that was probably because I almost died of vitamin D deficiency, and me and one other old lady decided to bring that to the national conversation and take your vitamin D. I found out about the Occupy movement from Facebook, because I had been watching all of the Arab Spring and everything, and I thought, man, I hope they do that here. And then I started a Facebook page called Call for a Revolution in the USA, which is, at the time, that was a pretty hefty thing to say on Facebook. And nobody joined it, and I didn't think they probably would, but it allowed Facebook to serve me up the event to meet at the original meeting in Minneapolis for Occupy MN, and so I went, and I was trained by Paul Wellstone in activism, and so I brought a clipboard and a pen, and I got people's contact information and kept going. And I've been involved in a lot of different things during the movement. I did Occupy Homes, and I went to California and did Occupy Homes and occupied some homes, and worked with the people trying to decommission San Onofre nuclear facility in Southern California, which was successful. And done some work with Idle No More here, and tried to just support the natives in what they were trying to do in terms of trying to protect and preserve the environment. My grandson is a Native American, and it's a long story, but my direct descendant was responsible for the colonization of this country and for the creation of the Society for the Christianization of the Indian in America, which destroyed their culture. So it was very important to me to be a part of that and to support them. So I've been fighting the pipeline here in Minnesota. That's a big issue for me, to fight the oil companies. What else am I working on? Mostly I try to give support, shut down a couple highways for Black Lives Matter, and
help them bring attention. That's kind of what Occupy does. We bring things to the national conversation using methods that are very effective. So, and I'm on media. Mostly I'm on the internets.
My name's April, and I first heard about Occupy on the internet also. I believe I actually found out about that first planning meeting they were talking about at Stevens Square through Minnesota Normal. And they talked about the planning meeting, so I left work early that day and went to the meeting, and then I've been involved ever since. And I think what really brought me to it, I was also in Madison when they were occupying the Capitol. That was very inspiring to me. So it really opened my eyes to that kind of tactic as a way to protest. It kind of reminded me that that's really, in-person protest is very important. And before then, I was blogging a lot, but it was mostly all on the internet. You know, there wasn't really much in-person activism. I think that's a very important piece of the puzzle. So that's what really inspired me to go. It was very, since then, I guess I've been involved primarily with the IWW, the union, so like with workers' rights and economic injustice is kind of where I tend to focus my energy.